When talking about step changes, there is one thing that comes to mind for me. There is so much talk in the sector at the moment about being proactive, agitating for change, and not accepting the status quo. Arts organisations know that there is more to be done to open doors, to increase representation, and to mirror the views of their audiences. But for those who are in the thick of COVID-19 survival, even getting to the next month feels like a slog. Feels like we are stuck in a loop of recognising the need to change, not knowing where to begin, and then reverting back to what we know and are comfortable with. How can we break out of this loop and move forward as a sector? My step change imagines a world where arts leaders embrace what I call comfortable activism. Being comfortable is often seen as a cop-out, as a way of sitting back and maintaining the current position. But I also believe that to some, the current discourse centred around making sweeping changes to the way arts organisations work is too big and too out of reach for many to clearly see what difference they can make. Now, I'm a relatively young arts leader, and I can recognise that for some, the pace of change in our sector has been too slow. But I am also someone on the ground who recognises that issues around structural racism and representation can often seem insurmountable, emotionally charged and frightening to take on. But at the same time, inactivity is complicity. I want arts leaders to be able to identify their own part of the puzzle and be able to see how they could influence change. Changes that start small but could incrementally build to something bigger and with collective impact. For me, comfortable activism brings the personal into the professional. It asks, what changes can we individually make that are tangible but meaningful? What can we do today that starts to respond to our most urgent issues? And what about tomorrow? This everyday radicalism gives individuals agency and creates feedback loops with positive reinforcement because the change this action has led to is real. It says, let's see what I can do next. It is action learning in daily life, creating work where bold new ideas emerge. And as an arts leader, this is where I want to be and where my strengths lie, creating space physically and mentally for creatives to thrive, make connections, recruit allies, and make a real difference. Our vision for our name change was radical, but the way we went about enacting this vision was deliberate, incremental, and took place on an individual level. We created a team of activists who challenged themselves every day to push forward within a framework of acceptable challenge and change, and it got results. I believe comfortable activism could be a way to make change within our sector feel more in reach, and that I can be a champion of this way of thinking.